Yeehaw! We're back at Hubble. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna dig another one. They liked that first one so much, they said, hey, let's do two. Anyway, I don't know if you can see anything. I got a new case for the microphone camera and it doesn't quite, I'm gonna have to do some, well, I gotta figure it out. Anyway, we're going back in this building. Kind of funny, got rained on this morning on the way down here. I don't know if it's going to rain much. We've had a really bad drought. They say it's as dry as it was in the Dust Bowl times, I guess. So I guess it's happened before. Anyway, I'm planning on spending about a week down here. Looks like they still got a pier drilling rig in here. So I don't know if they're ready for me or not. Anyway, we got a pretty cool little drill out here that they just got done drilling and setting the piles or the I-beams, piers, whatever you want to call them, for the shoring. So they're getting ready to get it out of the way, but this is a different setup on this one. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how this one's going to work with the backhoe. We might end up needing to use an excavator on this one. I am just not quite sure how it's going to work. We're going to have to get a plan together though. The shoring, the guys that are doing the shoring or lagging, whatever you want to call it, they already started putting handrail up, and we ain't even got any dirt out of the hole yet. So okay, so we got a plan going here. We're going to get a dump truck in here in a minute. This is going to be a different dig. We're not going to have all the complicated stuff in it. It doesn't appear. Oh crap. Except for the bottom's going to have a I guess we're going to try to earth form the bottom part of the footing. I'll tell you what, they've got some hard stuff in this hole. But I'm trying to get some broke up so when I get it, I'm gonna just be loading into dump trucks, I think. We're supposed to have two. I think right now we got one, which is better than none. But anyway, I'm just kind of getting started. We loaded out all the spoils, or most of the spoils from the pier dig, hauled them out. Just used front end loader on that. But I'm telling you, I think there's some different material over in this part of the building. It's a lot harder digging. But I think it'd be most efficient just to load direct into dump trucks. I think they stabilized this ground, but I mean it is just tough. But what the plan is to dig down a 4'11" shelf, and I think we're going to try to let the lagging guys get their stuff in place. I told them this morning that again, an excavator would be the way to do this, but we don't have an excavator, and if we rented one, it'd be a while before we could get it. I mean, that stuff is tough. Lagging crews already started putting up handrails, but this end, we're not going to have lagging on the end, so all they're going to do is straight run down one side. And the lagging's only going to go to a depth of 10'10", but we still got a footing that goes down to the 12'6". If that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but that's what we're doing. Anyway, I'm afraid this is going to be a long, slow process. When we were able to do this before, we were able just to keep throwing dirt and moving dirt. And this time we're going to be putting it in a truck, so it's going to take longer. I could throw the dirt out to the side. They could load trucks with skid steers, but you're moving dirt twice, which is not efficient. I mean, I could have a skid steer running in here beside me, hauling this out, and then dumping it in a dump truck. Which we might do that, but we only got one skid steer. And I think we're going to run into problems with well, this is some tough stuff over here. I think we got sandstone. We might get into needing a hammer on this one. I don't know. But right now, I'm just trying to get this end of it straight walled down. 4'6" is what we're going on the first bench. So I could say it's a little bit different than what we did before. I don't know why we've got a guy in a man lift over here, but we do. He's putting up this. I guess they realize that this is a dirty job. Last time we was in here, we had everything covered in dust. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this side, this corner kind of punched out. I don't know where my truck's at. probably be here in a minute. But while I'm waiting on trucks, I can kind of be shaping things up. Right now, I'm just trying to get a big enough pile of material out here that I can make a load. Which I guess in a sense I am moving the dirt more than once here, but it'll load quicker if it's loose. So we're gonna see how this goes. I don't know. They made this hole a little bit longer. So that gives us room to not have to put shoring on the ends. We can just step it down. So I think that's a good thing. And it's going to be a straight wall dig, so it's not like we're going to be offsetting around those columns and dealing. It'll be an easier deal. I mean, it's just absolutely going to be, that part of it will be easier. The part of moving dirt as we go is going to be slower. So that's what I'm thinking. That's how I think it's going to turn out. I don't know. I may be wrong. We shall see. But I already mentioned to the welder that you might want to find you a screen to put up, you know. He's like, well, I didn't know we needed to bitch about it last time, but I'm not doing it again. Absolutely not doing it again. Well, I guess they're going to send the skid steer down here to start moving spoils, so. That means I probably need to throw it to the side a little bit. I don't know what the plan's not really going yet. It takes a minute sometimes to get a job started. This one might take more than a minute. But we'll get there. We'll get this, somehow or another, we'll get this going. Takes to load one up here. we're making a hole in the ground now, so I think that's a good thing. Maybe. Moving dirt one time instead of this is way more efficient to put it in the truck and haul it out than it would be to stockpile it and haul it out. It might take a little more time up front, but it's a better way to do it. Into softer material, so this is most likely just stabilized on top. I was afraid we had sandstone there, but it's just, they did a pretty good job making it hard. Down to about 4'6" right there, I don't know. That bucket I got on there, it's about 4'6" from the tip of it to the end of it. Hauling this on site so we can load them pretty heavy. Move forward here a little bit so I can get more in the front of the truck. once again, the little planning, you can make a backhoe do a job. It might not be as convenient as an excavator, but we're getting there. The next trick's going to be the ramp, getting the truck down in here, I guess. That's where I'm kind of having difficulties with understanding how we're going to make this work. It's almost like we need to dig this whole thing from one end to the other all the way down to grade, instead of doing it the way we did before. That way we're digging basically from the top, and we're only going 10 foot 10 on most of it, so this side over here won't even be that deep. It's going to stay at that shelf height, 4 foot 6. Bigger bucket. Maybe I can borrow Jeff Anderson's 336 bucket. Yep. See, that stuff is harder. It's about as hard as concrete. I mean, it's tough. It just you can get it dug out, but it's a struggle to get it dug out. Anyway, we're making, I mean, that was one day. We worked till 5:30 last night. So, I think we did okay for the first day, and we kind of got a late start yesterday, so. 7 o'clock this morning, we were slinging dirt. Or maybe 7, what is it? Maybe it's not 7, it's maybe like 7:30. Anyway. Oh well. Kind of show you a little bit of this hard stuff. Hopefully you can see it all right there. And it's dry and dusty under this slab. The air quality in here is not so good. See, they put plastic sheets up around this job site this time, and I'm sure there's a good reason for that. They had dust probably covering everything in the factory last time we was here, and they ain't gonna do that again. So, but from what I understand, they weren't really planning on doing the second set of machines. But what happened was, they saw how much dust we produce when we dig these pits, and there's not really a good way to keep that dust level down without, you know, just hauling water in here. I'm sure they don't really want to raise the humidity that high on their air conditioner units, so they decided to, let's just go ahead and put the pits in now, and we'll have that all done. So they kind of missed their mark there with their board. And I told them I'm not digging if they're blinding me. They're gonna have to do better. And they've been doing a little better. I told them last time, I said, man, you can't be blinding people out here and act like it wasn't no big deal. But had a different guy come out this time. I kind of told him what I thought about last time. I said, you know, that's pretty bad. I said, you guys ought to have some kind of shield over your welder or something guarding it. And he's like, I didn't know we had a problem. I was like, well, wasn't trying to be a bitch or anything, but when I come to work and my eyes hurt, I said, I don't think that's going to work. I said, I ain't doing it again. So if you guys want this hole dug out, you're going to have to be sure to try to do something. And so they're trying. It's not something they usually do. If you're outside, and at this distance, a welding light doesn't really affect you that much. Unless you're staring right at it. But when you're in a dark building, like we're here, it's, you can see there's just like a 1.5 foot thick. This stuff is tough. So this has slowed me down a little bit too, but like I say, it's being in a dark building, or you know, the lighting's decent in here, but it's not like you're out in the sunlight. Your eyes are adjusted to sunlight, and when you get a little welder flash there, it don't hurt as bad. So, and they're normally, you know, these guys are used to working outside, so they don't think a lot about it. You gotta let them know. I did let them know last time, but they didn't seem to really care. Like, well, got the stairs in it. They did this one a little different. This Oh, easy. Goodness. But we're having to haul the dirt out as we dig on this one, and that's really not very doable with the backhoe, given the situation we're in. We could load, I loaded trucks the first, let's see, I worked Monday. We got this at noon yesterday, so I used the backhoe on this 2 days, and I dug out enough to get the shoring guys started with their first 5 foot. But like I say, this hole's a little bit smaller than the other one, but we are having to haul the spoils off. We got 2 dump trucks running right now. What I did is I punched out enough dirt for the shoring guys right before lunch so they could get in here, and they knocked out 2 bays there. But I think we might have a little trimming to do down in here. And I'll tell you what, this is probably the smoothest running excavator I've ever been in. I mean, I absolutely love it. It just seems like it's familiar, and I have never been on it, if that makes any sense. The controls, of course, I'm running backhoe control pattern. You hardcore excavator guys can give me all the crap you want, I don't care. I do what I do, how I do it, you do what you do. We might need to go down a little bit right there. I don't know how much you can see on the camera. I don't have a perfect setup for this machine. I might be able to move it. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I am very happy to have this big machine here, because what we were doing before was just really tough to get, to say the least. It was hard to get done what we needed to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to 5 inches. I thought we had that grade right, but I guess we don't. So we're gonna have to make this little ramp here. To get down to it. But this machine is just super fast, very predictable. Break over here a little bit. Whoop. I had to practice my steering. But I've been able to carve these steps out with it pretty decent. I do not like these big teeth. They're not very good for digging footings. But nice quiet cab. I'm not running wide open on it. There's really no need to. But you can see we're doing this a little different. We're earth forming the bottom part of the, which it's a little rough because I can't get in the right position to get these walls straight, but we're earth forming the bottom part, so that means we're not digging out as much dirt. It's saving a lot of digging, and not to mention there is some hard stuff down there in the bottom. But digging straight wall footings with this machine is just not as bad as I thought it'd be. I've ran other excavators. I don't know, this one here just seems to be like a dreamboat. It's just nice. Let's see what we got there. So we're at the top of the footing down there is like 10'6". Deeper. 5 inches. Well, I guess we're gonna drive down in his hole a little bit. This is fun. We tried to dig out the pit for the there's a sump pit that goes in the bottom, but it's dang hard down there. I tried to dig it with a backhoe. This bucket's a little bigger than we need for that pit, but I don't think this thing will dig it either. It's hard. We got rock right there, and we tried digging down a little bit. Didn't really have any luck. This machine is just so nice. I kind of understand why old Let's Dig 18, old Chris, I know why he likes them now. See what we got there. And this guy's checking grade with a, this is actually a robotic total station. I'm having trouble. I don't know. I can't see grade as good, I guess. It's just different. There. Might have just got a little bit deep right there. Be nice to have some flare teeth, but we ain't got flare teeth. You can hear that stuff just screeching. Anyway, back to his total station. It'll actually shoot, he can pinpoint almost any location on this job or whatever's in his CAD file. He can look at that thing sits up there and it'll actually shoot elevations, it'll shoot points. I thought we were done with this one. I guess we weren't. Big old monster 200. It's a EC 200E, I think. See how we did there. get it level. Just screeching through the rock. Anyway, he's laying this out as I dig, so it's kind of a different way of digging. It'd be cool if I had the total station hooked up to this where it could tell me where the bucket was all the time and in relation to the dig, but we ain't that high tech yet. But this is just, I don't know, pretty fun actually. It's one of them deals I kind of can't believe I'm getting paid to do it. Alright, well, we're getting close to the end of the hole. We're about 1:30 on Thursday. We're going to probably knock off a little bit early and come back in the morning and finish it up, but we about to knock this little sucker out. The size of this job looks a little different with this machine on it. Like I say, this is the best way to do this. You know, there's a backhoe can do it, and we did it last time, but we could have did it quicker like this. Of course, I don't know, when you only got 2 skid steers moving dirt, it might have worked out about right, but I think they projected this one would take a little longer since we're hauling it out, but it's actually, with 2 dump trucks running, turnaround's pretty quick. I don't know how many truckloads we got out of here. I haven't counted. I can't keep track. I lost count after one. There's more than one, maybe 4 or 5, but there's there's a few loads of dirt came out of here. I have to try to show you the pile when I leave today. They're stacking it outside, but we're about to get it done. It doesn't look real pretty. That stuff down in the bottom is a sandstone that fractures real easy. So it's turning out. I mean, they're happy with it. It's going to work for what they're doing. So, you know, I always like to have happy customers. That's why they call me for these. You don't want your dump truck too close to this machine for sure. It's better to have it a little further out. I'm gonna try to get this dirt knocked out of this side so these guys can go ahead and finish their shoring up. I'm pretty much, I think I'm pretty much done using that ledge right there. And we can reach bottom from the top pretty easy, but we can't reach very far. So I told these guys, I said, you know, we need to kind of keep this thing, this last hole we're digging here, we're trying to stay on top of the grades and elevations. Well, not the elevations, the elevation is the grade, but trying to keep the layout where I need it. And but I still got a set of steps to dig out on this end. So one more set of those, we may get them today. I don't know what we're going to get done today. It's kind of hard to tell. But I basically just threw some dirt up here on this concrete because I didn't want to try to put plywood under my tracks everywhere I went. it might bust the concrete. I know it cracked the edge of it where I drove down in there, but much we can do about that, you know. They might have to saw a little bit off that edge and patch it. But for the time we're saving them, that's going to be paid for pretty easily. Go ahead and take shelf this down here a little bit. I'll tell you what, if I could keep one of these busy, I'd own one. But this is not the majority of the footing market, at least not right now. It might be someday. Yeah, it's 1:30 now, so we came a long ways just today. I mean, we were about halfway across that second hole when we started this morning, and we are, I don't know, I think we're doing all right. I think everybody's excited that we're going to get done this week. I think they thought it'd take 2 weeks or a week and a half. And it might have if I'd have used tobacco the whole time. So Trico rent for a week instead of 2 weeks is a pretty good deal for everybody. And I've enjoyed the heck out of running it. I got to run a 350 deer, or was it a 300? It might have been a 300 deer a few years ago. That's the biggest one I've ever been on. It was pretty fun. It was a darn big machine. It made this one look little. But I don't, you know, big machines and the type of, like I say, the type of work I do, there's not going to be that many. I don't think. I mean, I might, well, who knows? Who knows? It might turn out that I get into a bunch of big stuff. It's hard to tell. Like I say, almost anybody can dig a hole, but when you got to have parts of it kind of precise, I mean, a lot of companies probably looked at this job and said, we're going to have to form the bottom of those stairs and the top of those stairs and the sides. And the company I'm working for said, hey, we know a guy that can keep us from having to do a lot of that work. Let's call him up. And I'll tell you what, I think they got more faith in me than I got in me. How I was going to do this, it's kind of like that other one over there we did. I didn't have a clue. We'll snip up here on this edge and try to clean this up without tearing our boards off. We'll get it. One way or another, we'll get it done. And I understand I'm not the best trackhoe operator there is. I might be the best one on this job, maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, I'll get you an update in a little bit. Apparently the GoPro is going to crap the bed this morning. I don't know why it won't keep chooching. I had the batteries charged. I don't know. I think I'm about ready to switch to DJI's cameras. I'm not enjoying lost footage. I think it is. Well, camera mount's not very sturdy. Really adding on, they're building a bunch of new. I think this used to be a different factory, but when Hubble bought it, they're starting to add on a bunch of stuff, do some more work. They're going to hire a bunch of people. They've been hiring